Hey everyone, Kyle from Regrettable Props, and as you can see, we got a 3D printed version of the Mandalorian helmet. I am currently using a water bottle to prop this out to have a better shape, but obviously you can tell the stark difference in quality between the two. And what we're going to be going over in this video is finishing this helmet. As you can see, it was printed with a gray filament. I've already done one coat of filler primer all over the beast. And here's the visor for it, along with some other 3D printed projects I need to finish. That just slips in behind there. Yeah, I'm excited. So pretty much the video is going to be time-lapse central of me just sanding away, filler primer sanding away, and using spot putty when I need to.
Now, the introduction of specialists and removal of defined classes is a big departure from classic Battlefield gameplay.
Alright, so as you can see, we've done a lot of sanding, and we still have a lot of way to go, but this is what you want to be getting is through all the layers of filler paint that you're using. You can see, let me get this focus on here, like that spot in particular. This spot will need likely spot putty to fill it, because it's going to take me too long to sand through all this plastic, and then it's just much easier to fill these areas in with spot filler, along with the texture of underneath here where you can see the print lines, along with this edge here. It's kind of hard for you to see on camera, but there's the step effect from all the print lines. So what I'm going to use is some spot putty, glazing putty, to fill in those areas that will require too much paint and primer to make worth spraying more coats on those problematic areas. I use cards to apply them because it allows me to get a smooth surface for helping fill in those spots, and then we can just throw them out afterwards, as opposed to using one of those putting spatulas that I'm not particularly fond of. So that's just what we're going to do now.
A few moments later.
So I think we're done for sanding. I'm going to give this a whole wipe down, and if there's any problem areas, I will either glazing putty or sand further. But I think we are set for giving a black base coat for applying the graphite powder. Black base coat to orange is going to stand out if I miss any spots with the graphite powder, because I know it's going to be hard to get in these spots with rubbing it in well. So having a black base will help conceal some of the inconsistencies. Now to seal the graphite in and hopefully make this pop even more for its reflection, we're going to use Rust-Oleum clear gloss. You can see my reflection. That's something. Well, I think you guys can guess which one's the 3D print and which one's the foam. I am quite happy with the turnout. On screen, I will post the actual paint they use for the on-screen helmet. It is quite pricey, requires a setup I don't have, and skills which I'm not familiar in using. So $6 for 3 grams of graphite powder to achieve this look, I am saying is well worth the turnaround in comparison to my foam helmet, which, I mean, you can see seam lines, the consistency isn't good, it's not nearly as shiny. And there's this, which is pretty bomb ass. There's a few spots where I rushed on painting and did a heavy coat there. And maybe somewhere else, but on this back spot here, I'm not as concerned. The black paint wasn't fully dry, so when I was applying graphite powder with the cotton pad, it was sticking to the wet paint, which is why I switched over to actually using the gloves to smudge everything in, because using the gloves you're not going to leave thumbprints, or fingerprints I should say, and you won't have the black or the fuzzies from any cotton pad sticking and messing up your work. But I mean, I can see my reflection, and I could say I cannot see my reflection in the other stuff. I used filler primer, sand, repeat until I got the desired look I was looking for. A black base gloss for the graphite to be applied to, and then I used Rust-Oleum clear gloss. That was my order of operations for the helmet here. On the other one, I used Pledge with floor gloss finish and an airbrush to apply it. The proof is in the pudding for which one turned out best. In the description, I will have a link to where I purchased this off of Etsy. Mark was great in communicating back and forth, and this was the best 3D print I've gotten so far to date in terms of work that needs to be done for it to be a finished product, not having the seam lines. I literally put like 2 days of sanding, broken up, like it's broken up between those 2 days, and there's like no seam lines now. Where this model gun I'm still working on, of the DC-17M blaster, I still have a ton of sanding to do. So if you want to reach out to Mark, his info is in the description, along with the rest of the materials I use. I hope you guys are satisfied with that. I will try and have it so that's what you can see from the inside. I just have this taped. The visibility is no issue. I am not going to weather it. If I change my mind in the future, I will use oil paints, black and like a burnt umber or burnt ochre or umber. I can't remember what it's called, or brown, and use oil paints. Gives me more workability. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video, learned something from it, enjoyed it, and that is Kyle from Regrettable Props. Stay tuned for whatever the next video is going to be, because it's likely going to be covering the fabric part of the Mandalorian costume, because I still need to do a video on that. Thanks guys, bye.